Hello ladies, gents, and everyones. It is Thursday, May 5th, and we're here to talk about this week's space and astronomy news. JWST is finally aligned. The seventh and final stage of the telescope alignment process was completed, and NASA released these images last Thursday from each of the 4 instruments on Webb. And y'all, JWST has done it again because these images are so good that they're beating even the positive expectations that NASA had. It's literally impossible, thanks to physics, for the telescope to see any finer resolution than this. Now all of the instruments are going into their commissioning process, and there are still a few calibrations that are remaining to be completed before science operations can begin. And in case you're just a little bit lost on the scale here and just how damn amazing these images are, I absolutely love this comparison of the same patch of sky from 3 different space-based infrared telescopes. Yeah, Webb is good. We've got a couple mission updates from NASA this week. First is the OSIRIS-APEX mission. Wait, Nora, isn't it the OSIRIS-REx mission? Well, it is right now. So OSIRIS-REx is the mission that took a sample from the asteroid Bennu back in late 2020, and it's currently on its way with that sample back to Earth, expected to arrive in about September of 2023. But that won't be the end for the spacecraft. NASA has extended the spacecraft's mission to go ahead and study the near-Earth asteroid Apophis, and this mission will be called OSIRIS-APEX for Apophis Explorer. Now, while Apophis is not in danger of hitting the Earth, it will be the closest asteroid passage to Earth in quite a while. OSIRIS will not be taking an actual sample at Apophis, but it will be getting up close and personal with the asteroid for at least 18 months, including using its thrusters to do a little on the surface to get a look at the subsurface. Cool. Now the second mission update is a little bit more sad. NASA has decided it's time to say goodbye to SOFIA, that is the Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy mission. This was a really cool telescope that was mounted on a modified airplane and flown around so that it could look at things like the moon, where it actually discovered water on the sunlit surface back in 2020. But alas, the ongoing operating costs of SOFIA just can't be justified for the amount of scientific return. This decision does not come as a surprise, as it was actually recommended by the Astronomy Decadal Survey that was released back in November, but still, let's just take a moment of silence for this beautiful airborne telescope. This mission was a joint effort with the German Space Agency, who also agreed that it was time to conclude. SOFIA had a great 8-year run. Speaking of aircraft, remember that I told you that Rocket Lab was going to try to actually complete their mid-air helicopter catch of a returning booster from an actual launch? The mission, there and back again, was delayed a couple times because of weather, but it finally launched on Monday from New Zealand. And they caught it! So the helicopter uses like a grappling hook on a long line to kind of snag the parachute line of the booster as it's descending a little over a mile above the surface. But while the catch was completed, it wasn't entirely successful. After catching it, the helicopter pilot noticed that the load was different than it had been during their test runs, and so they dumped it for a splashdown in the ocean. So a success, but not 100%, but still an important milestone in this journey that Rocket Lab is on to try and make the Electron booster reusable. TBD when they're going to attempt this helicopter recovery again on a launch. Oh, and by the way, the launch itself went great, deploying its payload of 34 satellites to orbit. Astronomers have pulled a Scooby-Doo and revealed the real identity of what was previously thought to be a distant galaxy. By blacking out unpolarized light for a better view, the object was actually revealed to be a pulsar located just 50,000 parsecs away in the Large Magellanic Cloud. The object is a radio source, meaning that the light coming from it is bright at wavelengths of like hundreds of megahertz in frequency, which is a wavelength around, almost a meter. And in fact, it turns out it's actually one of the brightest radio pulsars ever discovered. Using this polarization technique to look for this telltale sign of circularly polarized light, even more pulsars could be unmasked. Happy Black Hole Week! This is an event organized by NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center to educate and engage the public about these cryptic cosmic objects. To follow along, you can search for the hashtag Black Hole Week on pretty much any social media site, and particularly you can follow NASA Universe and NASA Goddard on Twitter and Instagram. Yours truly has been participating, of course, and I also have a lot of previous content about black holes right here on this very channel that you can check out if you want to learn some more. But long story short, these objects have so much mass in such a small space that their gravitational field is so strong that nothing can escape it, not even light. Crazy stuff. Not only have we detected black holes via their interactions with other objects and their gravitational effects, but we've actually directly imaged the event horizon of a black hole. This one being the supermassive black hole at the center of the M87 galaxy. and we'll do it again. At least I hope so. So this image was taken by the Event Horizon Telescope, and that collaboration has announced that they have a big announcement for a press conference next Thursday about our Milky Way. Now, the supermassive black hole at the center of our Milky Way, called Sagittarius A star, was one of the other targets for EHT. So it seems incredibly likely that this press conference is going to be announced that they do in fact have an image of the supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way. So stay tuned for that next week. Well, that's all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again next week. Have a good one. Bye.